A very good morning to everyone, and welcome to this inspiring webinars titled Power of Positive Thinking, Quinston's Inspirational Stories, and the Value of Lifelong Learning. My name is Jimmy Chai from Wawasan Open Universities. I shall be your host for today's. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Wawasan Open University, WOU, we are delighted to have you to join us this morning for what promises to be a truly uplifting and motivational sessions. Today's webinars will highlight the extraordinary journeys of Quinston Kueh, who has not only triumphed over challenges in life, but also emerged as a beacon of hope for lifelong learner. Through his stories, we will learn the incredible impact of positive thinking, resilience, and continuous education. Before we get started, and I would like to briefly introduce Wawasan Open Universities. Wawasan Open University offers flexible learning platforms with 100% online tutorial support and interactive resources, which are especially helpful for working adults, enabling them to learn at their own pace and convenience wherever they are. At WOU, we strongly believe in lifelong learning, and today's sessions will reflect exactly that. Without further ado, let's get into the programs today. Now I have the pleasure to introduce our speakers for today's Quinston Kueh. Quinston's journey is nothing short of inspiring. Despite being diagnosed with Becker muscular dystrophy at the age of 12, he has never let his condition define him. Instead, Quinston chose to embrace the power of positive thinking, achieving academic success and transforming his life into a source of motivations for others. As a final semester student at Wawasan University's, Quinston pursued a Bachelor of Arts honor in Psychology from the School of Education, Humanities, and Social Science. His incredible dedications to his studies, his dedication to his study earned him a spot on the Dean List, a prestigious honor award to students who achieve GPA, grade point average of 3.85 or above, out of the maximum 4.0 pointer. Today, Quinston will share his personal stories, focusing on the importance of resilience, perseverance, and lifelong learning. Please join me in welcoming Quinston. Quinston, the mic is yours. Over to you.
Thank you. Let me share the screen. Hello, guys. See the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen. Yep.
Thank you. Hi, guys. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? It's a pleasure to be with you guys today. My name is Quinston. I'm 26 years old, and I'm the final student studying psychology at Wawasan Open University. Thanks to Mr. Jimmy and Miss Lillian for coordinating and organizing this motivation talk this morning. People always ask me, what happened to you? And how did you overcome what you have been through? I will share with you guys in detail today. My title for today is Everyone has a purpose in life. Indeed, we live for a purpose. Have you found yours? If you haven't found yours, let me tell you how I found mine. The young man on the screen is smiling brightly, but before overcoming hopelessness, he wasn't that happy at all. I was a normal boy and physically able, just like you guys before I reached 13. I was a rebellious child and caused many troubles to my parents. I was so stubborn and often quarreled with them due to the strict home rules set by them. Why I can't do this? Why I can't do that? Other parents didn't interfere with their children's choices. I thought I was treated unfairly. I took things for granted, as well as my health, until it fails me. This was me when I was 12. I was the head prefect in school, and the young boy beside me was my primary school classmate. This was me when I was 10. I was preparing for the dance performance on that day. And this was our first family portrait. I love both sports, especially badminton. I enjoy the pleasure of swinging rackets, hitting and smashing shuttlecocks, and challenging the limits of my openness. But things didn't keep on going so smoothly. Reality is always so brutal. Initially, I started experiencing symptoms such as imbalanced walking and frequently falling during PE classes. Ultimately, I didn't even have the courage to hold on tightly to my record. It was intolerable for me who had just graduated from primary school. My parents took me to hospital for a medical checkup. But 14 years ago, the medical technology in Kuching couldn't figure out what's wrong with me. So I went to Singapore and I did a muscle biopsy. It is a minor surgery to discover problems with our nervous system. Later, I was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, but it was just a prelude, which led to another nightmare. Let me give you some basic information about muscular dystrophy. It is an inherited disorder which characterized by slowly progressing muscle weakness. There is no cure for muscular dystrophy until now. Treatments such as physiotherapy is aimed at controlling the symptoms and maximizing the quality of life of the patient. This picture was taken when we went to Singapore for further medical examination. The younger beside me was my younger sister. I really thank God that I was the only one who was diagnosed with BMD. My younger brother and my younger sister are not diagnosed with BMD or become the carrier. This was me when I was Form 3. Those boys and girls beside me were my junior classmates. As I was in the growth stage, my body was growing swiftly, and at the same time, my muscles were also deteriorating gradually. I've walked my own when I was 13, but I started relying on the support of others to walk and stand firmly when I was 14. I started feeling unstable and uncomfortable. Finally, my muscles couldn't support my limbs, and I started using a small wheelchair to move around when I was 15. I was the first disabled student to be accepted into my secondary school. As I was studying with normal students, my mental pressure was increasing as well. I felt like an outsider. I didn't even dare to deepen my friendship with them. I thought I would never be accepted. Those 3 years were the hardest time in my life that I ever wanted to end my life. I know that this year, 1 million people will commit suicide. There is one every 40 seconds. We are looking for something. We are looking for hope. Hope that you just can't have because you are born with hope. No, we are born with pain. We are born and live through difficulties. In our lives, my parents always told us that even though we don't understand why things happen this way, we still have a choice. Either to be angry for what we don't have, or to be thankful for what we do have. The power of choice was the first thing that I had to overcome and decide for myself, especially during those years. I'm very grateful towards my parents who loved me, who encouraged me, who told me I was beautiful the way that I was, and not to worry about what other people said about me. The greatest thing is love. When we don't have enough love, when we don't have enough hope, we started losing strength to live. Without hope, we felt like, why are we here? Well, brokenness. Yes, mine. Today, I still can't walk. I still can't stand, raise up my arms, and totally dependent. But everything has changed. Everything. For me, I was looking for hope and happiness, and I couldn't see it for many years. Now I would like you to imagine some life scenarios. Imagine that the left side represents hope and the right side represents depression. Truth encourages me to become all that I can be and get nearer and nearer to hope. For example, a simple sentence like, you are looking good today. Please good at calculating numbers. I love your sweet smile. But then we have lies every day coming into our mind, people who discourage us. You know that the people, no matter how good of a day you are having, they will bring you down. Or no matter how bad of a day you are having, they will bring you even lower. You know what I'm talking about. Those discouragement, hurts and pains cause us to withdraw from hope and get further and further until we couldn't get up. For example, you are so ugly. To have one speak fluent English. His parents are going to divorce. He will never do well in life. I'm not here to say that I can understand the situation we are facing right now, but I can understand completely of being alone and having another divorce family. What is the biggest discouragement in your life? No, they are not the biggest discouragement in your life. You are the biggest discouragement in your life. It only takes me 3 seconds to tell something discouraging. But then you may never forget my words. Words are powerful. When you hear those words, your mind started growing with those lies. For instance, we are not good enough. Just give up. You will never get a job. You won't get married. You can't even hold on tightly to your wife's hands. What kind of a father are you going to be if you can't even carry your child in your arms? You are alone forever. Sure, your parents hurt you, but their hearts can't even heal you. Their soulmates help you just due to sympathy. Just give up. Just give up. At age 15, I thought I should commit suicide. Why? Because I didn't have hope. I thought I didn't have hope. Today you can see that I had hope. What's the word? Believing in something that you do not see. Faith. Words can only do so much. Hearts can do much more than words. But when words and hearts can't do anything, that's where faith comes in. For me, words and hearts were not enough. But I had no faith. So I tried to give up. Nobody was at home that day. I complained about the hardship and screamed. God, why do I have to suffer all these things? It's not fair. I had enough. Enough. Because I was going to be a burden to my parents. And I had nothing to look forward to. By that very moment, I hesitated. I realized at that moment, if I actually went through with committing suicide, I would leave a greater burden to my parents than they already had. There's one thing less hopeful or more burdensome than having a disabled child. A disabled child who lives up this life easily. So when I saw in my mind, my mom and my dad, my brother and my sister, crying my grave, if I actually went through with it, I really thank God. That simple one thought saved me. If my parents never told me that I was beautiful the way that I was, if my parents never told me that I was loved and I was special, I wouldn't be here today. So encourage you guys, encourage your friends and family around you when you see them. Although I have given up the thought of committing suicide, I still couldn't find my purpose in life. I still couldn't forgive myself for causing so much inconveniences to my parents. Pastor knew that I was dejected, so he told me, don't be discouraged. God has His perfect will in you. Trust in Him always. I suddenly realized that God allows me to go through this sorrowful journey, so that can be a living testimony to encourage people and convince them that life is beautiful and wonderful, so that they can live life to the fullest. My youth fellowship leader also told me that his admire my perseverance and determination despite all odds in life. He also convinced me that I'm not a failure or an unsuccessful product. In fact, I could bring more impact on convincing others that life is beautiful and wonderful. The two men on the screen are the person that I admire the most, apart from my parents. This is our senior pastor, Pastor Lim GT. And this is our youth fellowship leader, youth pastor, David Hall. Every single human being has value. And my value is not determined on how I look, what job do I have, where I am from, where I was born, or how much money do I have. All that stuff is nothing. So many teenagers, tease each other on how we look. And I ask them, are you willing to be my friend? They said, of course, why not? I said, but I have a walk and live independently. They said, it doesn't matter. You have a strong spirit. If it actually doesn't matter, why do we kill each other with our words when it actually doesn't matter? Why do we look at ourselves in the mirror and see ugliness instead of value? I want to ask you today, what are you looking for? If I give you $1 million, will you be happy? If you give me $1 million, I will definitely be very happy. But if my mom dies tonight, will I be happy? No. With all the money in the world, I will definitely not be happy. Why? Because money can heal the soul. See, there are choices in life. And I want to ask you again, what are you looking for? If I can just get drunk, why not, man? I will only live once. If there's something that you are believing in, then I have nothing to say about. But I know that my choices will affect this life, other people's life, and my internal life. Therefore, I choose wisely. William Buckley said, the greatest 2 days in one's life, the day you were born and the day you knew why. So if other people say to you, you are so ugly, you can answer them confidently, no, I'm beautiful the way that I am. We always think of, I want to look like her. If I was taller, smarter, more popular, see, we all want to be loved. But whatever you want, it is not enough. It never satisfies us until you find the truth. I'm wonderfully and faithfully made by God. There is a greater purpose for my life. I'm here for a reason. Yes, I didn't get a miracle, but I believe in God who can do miracles. And I still have a pair of sport shoes in my wardrobe. Why? Because I've seen blind people seeing and deaf people hearing. That's fine if you don't believe me. But I also realize something. If God doesn't change, my circumstances. It's only to use my life to be a miracle for someone else. When I don't get a miracle, it can still be a miracle for someone else. I'm going to close off with this beautiful story. At age 18, I met a boy from hospital. I had never met anybody else like me before. I wish I could have met somebody else like me. At age 18, I met a boy in the hospital, disabled, younger than me, health condition is much worse than me. I thought he was going to go through depression. We worry about many things, and so on and so on. But he was smiling despite all odds in life. It was a materialization of when you don't get a miracle, you can still be a miracle for someone else. I'm not a superhero. I go through ups and downs, but take one day at a time, and if you haven't found the peace of knowing who you are, why you are here, and where you are going when you are not here. For me, I want you to know that how I've overcome. I share my life testimony at church, and I've been to many schools to share my life testimony, and I'm still doing so. This was our testimony sharing at our church in 2017 on Father's Day. And this was our high school graduation ceremony in 2016. This is not to bring out my pride. Trust me, I'm just like you. But I hope that you are inspired to know that if I can dream big, so can you. The value of our life, the purpose of our life is not how long we live. It's how we can influence other people's life to make the right choices, to walk on the right path. God always has His perfect will in you. Do always remember that you are wonderfully and faithfully made by God. Don't try to commit suicide like I did before. It is a foolish and selfish action. Nothing is impossible to tackle. Don't always complain. You should be grateful towards God and your family, for they will always be by your side to support you and be with you all along the way. This was our big family. This was our first tutorial at Archives College before COVID-19. I received the dean list at Archives back then in January 2019, before COVID. This was my first motivation talk at Archives, share my life testimony with engineering students. This was a second motivation talk. As I made Batukawa, share my life testimony with all the students and teachers in school. I went back to my former high school twice, share my life testimony with my juniors. I went to HKC in Jusang, share my life testimony. I went back to my former primary school, share my life testimony with Red Crescent members. This was in March this year. I went to St. John International twice, share my life testimony with Interact Club members. I went back the second time to SM Milik Batu Kawa, share my life testimony with all the students and teachers in school. I went back the third time to my former high school, share my life testimony with my juniors. I was interviewed by my friend, who is also a DJ on TFM. I went back the second time to my former primary school, share my life testimony with present members. I went to UCSI University, our Kuching campus, share my life testimony. I went to SMK Kuching High School, share my life testimony with Form 1 to Form 3 students. I went to Syrian Public Secondary School, share my life testimony with all the students and teachers in school. I went to SMK Padongan, share my life testimony with all the students and teachers in school. I was invited to be the guest speaker at the event hosted by Sarawak government and UCSI University for the older Form 5 student throughout all the division in Sarawak. It was over 1,000 students attending the SPM seminar. I went back the second time to archives, sharing my life testimony with all the new students during the orientation week. I went to Faith Methodist Church, sharing my life testimony with all the young adults. I went to SMK Sungai Tapang, sharing my life testimony with all the Form 1 students. Find your purpose in life and make your barriers into doors. Thank you for listening attentively. May God bless you abundantly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Quinston, for that truly inspiring presentations. I'm sure everyone is feeling energized and motivated by your stories. Next, we will hear from someone who has very close connections with Quinston's. Miss Tian Yijin Quinston's dear friends will share some key takeaway and provide a personal perspective on how Quinston's journey has impacted those around him. Over to you, Miss Tian.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jimmy. Okay, can we all give a round of applause for Quinston for sharing his life story? It's really indeed inspiring, right? So I'm really hoping that his life sharing, his life testimony sharing is really inspiring you. The topic of the talk today is about power of positive thinking. But do you know how Quinston has managed to have this positive thinking? We have all heard it just now. It's because he knows that God has a purpose for him in his life. It's all because he knows that God has a purpose for him in his life. If he had given up initially, he would not have impacted so many lives with his testimony, like what you have seen in those photos. My name is Yijin. I got to know Quinston from church. Over the years, I have heard about his condition. He is wheelchair bound. He needs help even to do some very simple tasks like eating, drinking, and even speaking. Do you know that it takes him a lot of effort to present this to you today? And I'm really hoping that you will appreciate it. There are times his conditions will worsen, and he needs to be hospitalized. And I know that over the years, it is really not easy for him. He has gone through a lot of hardships, and like what he mentioned just now, he even felt like giving up also initially. But what makes him carry on is because of the purpose he knows that God has for him in his life. He still believes that God has a beautiful plan for him in his life despite all these odds. So although life is tough, he is here to tell you that life is so beautiful when you do not give up each time. When it's so hard to pull through even, then eventually you can be just like Quinston. You can be an encouragement, a miracle for others, even when you yourself haven't got your own miracle. But in fact, none of us can guarantee that we will have a smooth life, right? Isn't it? Because there are always challenges. There'll be ups and downs. We can't even control what's going to happen the very next minute. However, if we are like Quinston, we know that God has a purpose for us to live on earth. As long as we press on, as long as we never lose hope. Just like Quinston and I, we usually attend church. We put our trust in God. And life can be so worthwhile. Just do what we can each time whenever you're faced with situations or difficulties. And no matter how is the result, at least we have tried. At least we are not a deserter, someone who runs away. Then God will do all the rest for us. Apart from that, like what Quinston mentioned, it's not about how long we live, but it's about how we live and how we bring impact to people's life. And in each chapter of life that is so unique, cherish the time that we are given and cherish the people God puts around us. Cherish the task that being assigned to us and being positive, knowing that each chapter is so special, is so unique, and we will never get this chapter again once time has passed. Just like the chapter that you have now. So Quinston is trying his very best at this chapter of his life. In fact, actually, almost every chapter in his life, he tried his very best, even right now. So I'm hoping that all of us here, we are trying our best as well. We only live once, like what he said. So we have to choose wisely. We have to make decision wisely. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I just want to say all the best for your future undertakings, no matter what you're doing right now. And I believe many of you are students, right? Because you're studying. And some even are working adults while working, then you're studying as well. So I'm just want to wish you all the best. And I hope that you will remember that you only live once. Choose wisely. And know that God has a purpose for you in life. Don't give up until you find it. So one more time, life might not be a smooth journey for you, but we all know that when we know that we don't give up and we know that God has a purpose for us in life, then even when we are bent, but we will not be broken. Even when we are wounded, but we will not be defeated. But each time, we can always come back stronger. That's all from us. Be blessed. I will pass the time back to Mr. Jimmy.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tian, for the heartfelt words. Now, before we move to the next sessions on Q&A, can we switch on our cameras? Our colleague Justin will be standing by to take some group photos. Cheers. Put on your smile. Let's take group photos.
Hey everyone, please on your camera. I will do a screenshot of all the video. Okay, ready? I'm going to take the first screen. Okay, smile everybody. Now next to the second screen. Okay, ready? Smile everybody.
Ready?
Okay, done. Thank you everyone.
Sorry, Mr. Jimmy, we can't hear you.
Oh yeah, okay. Now we are coming to the Q&A sessions. If you have any questions for Quinston, please feel free to speak over the mic or drop your concern or questions to the chat. The floor is open, participant. We would like to have the session more interactive. Please raise any questions that you want to or know more about Quinston's. The floor is the mic and the chat area is all open for you now. Any questions you like to ask or anything you want Quinston to elaborate? Okay, I think if you have any other questions, you can still continue to type into the chat areas. Before I think we come to the conclusion sessions, I would like to take a moment to thank Quinston and Miss Tian for sharing their powerful insight today. Your stories and perspectives have shown us that no matter challenges we face, a positive mindset and commitment to lifelong learning can truly transform our life. Ladies and gentlemen, let me check any other message coming in before we all, okay, so far. Okay, so far everybody is fine. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to thank all of you for joining us. We hope today's session has inspired you to take the next step in your personal or professional journey. Whether it is pursuing further education or simply embracing a more positive outlook on life. Remember, at Wawasan Open Universities, we are here to support your lifelong learning goals. If you would like to know more about our flexible learning platforms and programs designed for working adults, please do not hesitate to reach out. I guess there are some messaging coming in now. So you are a brave fighter, Quinston. A lot of inspiring many. So inspire many. Yes, agree that you are your points. Okay, that is great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Quinston. All your best final semester BAPS. Yes, Quinston going to graduate very soon with a bachelor degree in psychology. Okay. With that said, thank you once again, and have a wonderful days ahead. We'll close our session today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.